Mr. Buttigieg, congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you.
The Department of Transportation has responsibility for infrastructure, has a major role concerning jobs, and has responsibility for ensuring safety. I am hopeful that if you're confirmed your tenure, we will see material advances on all three. I will say it was disconcerting to see yesterday, the first day of the Biden administration, straight out of the gate, President Biden announced that he was canceling the Keystone pipeline. That is a major infrastructure project. That is a project that right now today has 1,200 good-paying union jobs. And in 2021, the Keystone pipeline was scheduled to have more than 11,000 jobs, including 8,000 union jobs, for contracts worth $1.6 billion. And with the stroke of a pen, President Biden has told those 11,000 workers, those union workers, your jobs are gone. Mr. Buttigieg, what do you say to those workers whose jobs have just been eliminated by presidential edict?
Well, I think the most important thing is to make sure that we make good on the promise of the president's climate vision as being one that, on net, creates far more jobs, millions, we hope. I know that won't just happen. We'll have to do a lot of work to make sure that's real. But getting this right means ensuring that there are more good-paying union jobs for all Americans delivered through that infrastructure vision.
So for those workers, the answer is somebody else will get a job?
The answer is that we are very eager to see those workers continue to be employed in good-paying union jobs, even if they might be different ones.
Well, I fear that decision is the front end of a whole series of regulatory decisions, one after the other, that will be eliminating union jobs, that will be eliminating manufacturing jobs, that will be eliminating energy jobs. And that is altogether out of step with what the American people want. There is also some rich irony in the long history of the Democratic Party. There was a time when the Democratic Party, under presidents like FDR, was considered the party of union workers, of blue-collar workers. And decisions like yesterday, and I fear more decisions that we will see in the days and weeks to come, are demonstrating more and more that today's Democratic Party is not concerned with working men and women having jobs, and that the answer is we'll eliminate your jobs, and I guess good luck in the future.
Well, again, Senator, I think the answer is that we're going to create more good-paying union jobs, and we can do that while recognizing the fact that when the books are written about our careers, one of the main things we'll be judged on is whether we did enough to stop the destruction of life and property due to climate change. I've got to believe we can do both of those things, but if you and I can make common cause in our support for labor, then I think that's great news.
All right, well, when it comes to addressing climate change, in the last year, the United States was the #1 nation on the face of the planet for reduction of carbon emissions. The major driver of that has been the shift from coal-fired electricity production to natural gas. And the gas renaissance we're seeing in this country is producing enormous environmental benefits. Now, this past June, the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration finalized a rule authorizing the bulk transportation of liquefied natural gas by rail. LNG by rail gives Americans, particularly those who are limited with energy choices because of geography, gives them an affordable option for electricity. What are your views on the rule that was finalized allowing the transportation of LNG by rail?
So that's something I want to take a closer look at if confirmed. I believe it's very important that we take account of the safety considerations that are at stake. I do recognize that natural gas, certainly for climate purposes, is not the same thing as coal. In our own city, in our own municipal fleet, we did a lot of work on things from garbage trucks to light-duty vehicles to have some of them run on gas. And I think there was federal support to do that on our bus system as well. It's not the same as coal, but of course it's also not the same as hydroelectric power. And we need to be balancing all of these considerations as we go forward.
So you're saying if confirmed, you would consider repealing that rule and stopping the transportation of LNG by rail?
The best honest answer I give you now is that I'll be taking a hard look at it.
Well, that's disconcerting as well. Let's shift to a different topic as my final question. As you know, roughly 3/4 of DOT's budget is mandatory budget authority, derived from the Highway Trust Fund. Based on 2020 apportionment, only 3 states in the country, Texas, Colorado, and South Carolina, remain donor states, meaning they contribute more than they receive back. In the apportionment, the state of Texas contributed $212 million more to the Highway Trust Fund than the state's roads received. Senator from your state, Senator Donnelly, had introduced legislation that would adjust that formula so that states would not be losers, would not be donor states. Are you supportive of reassessing that formula?
Well, I'll make sure to call Senator Donnelly, he's a good friend, and learn more about that action, and we'll take a look at that as well if confirmed.